the first of the gun salutes there in Green Park, just in front of us here.
Must be listen, guys. We can't tell what's happening. As the gun salute,
and they're on the steps now to inspect the Guard of Honour, accompanied by a silver stick in waiting, the Blues and Royals, and the field officer in brigade waiting with them there. So there you have the Guard of Honour, the Royal Salute, inspected by Barack Obama, and the US National Anthem played to welcome them on their first state visit. Extraordinary to think this is only the second ever state visit made by a US president. The first, George W. Bush in 2003, very different circumstances. Nicholas Witchell is watching all this from inside the gardens of Buckingham Palace. Nick.
Yes, we've had the US National Anthem played here in the gardens of Buckingham Palace, the 41 gun salute ringing out, and now the commander of this Guard of Honour, Major Rory Shannon, invites the President of the United States, accompanied by the Duke of Edinburgh, now to inspect this Guard of Honour. 104 officers and men from the 1st Battalion of the Scots Guards drawn up on the lawns of Buckingham Palace, and the President now inspecting this Guard of Honour. Just behind the Guard of Honour you can see the band of the Scots Guards and the pipes and drums of the Scots Guards, the band now playing as the President goes down the line of these guardsmen, with the Duke of Edinburgh just a few paces behind. The Scots Guards, of course, who returned from duty in Afghanistan last October after a 6-month tour of duty there, where they will have been serving alongside American forces, and indeed as they have in other conflicts in Iraq and of course elsewhere. We are reminded at times like this of the military campaigns that have been fought by British and American forces. Amongst the battle honours of the Scots Guards are honours from the Second World War, from France and Germany, from Rhine and from Northwest Europe, and from Italy, from Salerno and Monte Camino. President Obama just talking there with the Guard Commander, Major Rory Shannon. As the inspection comes to an end, Major Shannon presents arms, and the Duke of Edinburgh escorts President Obama back to the saluting base at the top of the West Terrace steps here in Buckingham Palace. The Duke of Edinburgh, who of course will be 90 years old in just, nearly 3 weeks' time. The West Terrace steps there, as you can see, lined by 8 troopers, 4 men from the Lifeguards, 4 troopers from the Blues and Royals, the 2 regiments which form the Household Cavalry Regiment. And President Obama rejoins his wife and the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, with Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall just there behind. That in the foreground is the state colour of the Scots Guards. That, in fact, is the colour that will be trooped at the Queen's birthday parade in a few weeks' time. The Guard of Honour once again presents arms, and in the background you can hear the 41-gun salute still sounding. So the Guard of Honour start to march off now from the lawns of Buckingham Palace. There we are, the Scots Guards, the regiment that is 3rd in precedence in the Foot Guards division. Not easy to march on grass, but they're doing their very best, as President Obama, I would imagine, perhaps is complimenting the Queen on how well her guards are marching. They are performing all the ceremonial duties at the moment, the Scots Guards. That is, they're finding the guard here at Buckingham Palace, at St James's Palace and Clarence House. Now, of course, within the past half hour, between the time that we saw President Obama and the First Lady arrive at Buckingham Palace and this inspection of the Guard of Honour, they have had this 10-minute private meeting with Prince William and the Duchess of Cambridge, a short meeting. And I suspect that the reason that that meeting with Prince William and his new wife is so short is that perhaps neither Buckingham Palace nor Clarence House want anything to distract from the 2 people who are the focus of attention for this state visit, and that of course is the honoured guest and his wife, President Obama and Michelle Obama. So Prince William and his new wife, despite all the attention that they have received in recent weeks, playing a very low-profile part in this state visit. They're not attending the lunch, which the Queen will very shortly be hosting for President Obama, and they are not attending the state banquet this evening. Surprising perhaps, but there it is. It underlines that neither Prince William nor his wife are yet full working members of the royal family. But there, President Obama, the Queen, Mrs. Obama, the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Charles and his wife, the Duchess of Cornwall, holding on to her hat. So too is the Queen, which is perhaps understandable because the wind in these parts is quite blustery at the moment. So they go back into the bow room of Buckingham Palace, and very shortly they will settle down to their lunch. As you were hearing a moment ago, it's very much a first event on this state visit in terms of the Queen's involvement. An ice-breaking lunch? Well, I suspect on this occasion, since they have met before 2 years ago, that there will be no need for that. And in Green Park, I think you can now see the cavalry in Green Park. You have the advantage of me because I can't actually see those pictures, but in Green Park, yes, in Green Park we have heard the King's Troop of the Royal Horse Artillery firing the 41-gun salute, together with, and indeed the King's Troop just making their way from Green Park at the end of this ceremonial welcome for the President of the United States, Barack Obama, and his wife, the First Lady, on this, their first state visit to the United Kingdom. Ceremony essentially today. This afternoon they go to lay a wreath at the grave of the unknown warrior at Westminster Abbey. They will pay a short courtesy visit really to David Cameron at Downing Street, and then they will return here to Buckingham Palace, where they will receive a short visit from the Leader of the Opposition, Ed Miliband. And then this evening, the high point of the ceremonial aspect of the hospitality today, that is the full state banquet at Buckingham Palace, at which the Queen will welcome the President and he will make a speech